So you're thinking about moving into Canada. I have made this video here for you where I'll be talking about 9 things that I wish I knew before I moved to Canada. Canada is cold, so I won't be talking about that. It is Canada, that's what it is. And I will talk about Texas a little bit just because there's one particular thing that I didn't see come through in a lot of videos that I watched as I came here to Canada. So I'll be touching on that, and that will be my 7th point. So stay tuned for the rest of the video so you can watch all the 9 things to know before you move to Canada. So the first thing I wish I knew was about the shopping experience. So to start with, most of the stores here are actually owned by about 4 big companies. So these are the companies really that will detect how the prices are going to go for like groceries and all the essentials that we need. But what I didn't know was I needed to know how to be very smart about how to shop and when to shop. So this I've quickly discovered that the best way to go is likely by using one particular store that you go to and you collect points from there. Particularly, I like to go to Superstore, that's my favorite store, and Shoppers Drug Mart because I collect points as when I shop from those particular stores. And also, then I bundle that up with gas. So when I go get my gas, I actually get that from Mobile. And that's because all of these are under one company. So as you shop from all of these, you're actually collecting points that you can actually redeem at whatever point that you want to. The second thing also that's related to shopping is you don't always have to buy things firsthand. So we quickly discovered here that you can always go to Facebook Market to actually get things cheaper because it's really now at this time of the year, people are getting gifts that they do not need or that they don't want. So they're actually going to sell a lot of those things just to get rid of stuff. So you actually find some good things from there or from thrift stores. You can actually find very, very good clothing here also from there. Just to finish off the shopping experience point, what I also discovered is that people do what they call bulk buying. So, which means that you're actually maybe, let's say you go to a farm, you buy a whole cow, and then you share that with your friends or with your family. So, that also has been a game changer for us because then you get to buy meat at a cheaper price. I mean, things are very expensive, but it is relatively cheaper than when you buy from the store. And then you also know where your meat is coming from. So we've also been taking advantage of this. And I really, really wish I knew this before I came here because that would have saved us a lot of money other than buying meat from the grocery store. We mentioned that Canada is cold, right? So I had to come back inside. So point number 2 here is taking advantage of the newcomer programs. There is a wide range of programs that are offered in almost every city. So what you can do here is type in newcomers programs in Calgary, which is where I'm at, or whatever state or particular province that you're at. They will definitely have like a lot of things that you can actually take advantage of and actually enroll yourself into some of these programs. I know in particular for someone told me that they went into the SEWA program. They actually got some clothing, like professional clothing, to actually start off their career. So they don't only help you with, let's say, building up your resume, building up connections, or maybe helping you get to that certain level. So maybe if you needed to learn more of English as a first language or as a second language, then they will actually help you with some programs like that. So I would also take advantage of that. And the other resource that I've actually found to be very helpful also is going to the library. I actually didn't know that the public libraries here actually offer quite a range of services to newcomers. So they will actually have, let's say, like printing services there as well. So let's say, yeah, like in the first days when you're just moving, you actually need to print out a few things. So then they will actually be able to help you with that, and it's all free of charge. So why not just take advantage? And as you do that, like as you're working through your paperwork, say you have children, they also have programs for children as well. So even like when you're now here all settled in Canada, in the winter times, they'll actually have like lots of like reading programs, and these programs are actually available for all age ranges. So you can also then just use this as a free resource for what to do with kids, especially now as we're coming up into the Christmas breaks here, so you can actually know of this. So the third point here is making connections. So we cannot emphasize this enough. So whatever country that you're coming from or where you will be going, you need to have good connections. So when we talk about connection, you're talking about people that will be able to be there for you. So because Canada can also really be lonely, right? So you just want to have, let's say, a few people in your corner that whenever that you need help, if there's an emergency, sometimes things do happen and you need someone just to help you out, babysit, or someone that you can just always also go and hang out with. So then I have actually made the effort myself and actually like joining certain clubs here in town. So I was looking for people to play volleyball with, and then I joined a volleyball league. So that has actually given me some good connections here and there. Like some of the people have actually become good friends. So that's something really that you want to be able to be having also in your corner. And I've also found, and I've also really heard that like even if you want to get a job, like sometimes it's really who you know. So then that's also another reason why you really should make an effort to actually go out of your comfort zone and actually make connections here in Canada. So the fourth thing here is that schools here are actually closed for a 3 month period. That's actually like continuous. So starting from July to September, the schools are usually closed. So you need to have a plan on how you're going to entertain your children, should you have kids, or if you have nieces and nephews. So the one thing that I've recently learned is that the city of Calgary, so I'm sure in the particular province that you're going to be moving to, or the city, they'll have certain programs there as well that will be actually free to the community. So you just need to go to the website and look what it is that they're going to have and what are the age ranges that they will be offering the programs for. So in particular in the one in Calgary, ages 3 to 5, you need to supervise your kids. Or if it's like a little bit older, then you can actually drop off your kids, go off and do whatever that you gotta do, and then come back. So this is a game changer because summer programs are usually expensive. So this will also save you some money if you're able to like take advantage of these free programs. Some churches will also have some programs, so that's also another one that you can also check. It doesn't have to be necessarily your home church, but like they are open as well to also accommodating other kids that are coming from other churches as well. So that's also another resource there to actually take advantage of, to find ways to keep your kids entertained and out of trouble during that summer duration. Fifth, things to pack to Canada. So there's certain things really that you don't need to be packing when you move here into Canada. Things such as devices, just don't carry those unless if you're ready to be having like a adapter after adapter to be able to actually connect your device. So just do not take those. But what I'll emphasize for you to bring here to Canada is your medication. So should you have any prescriptions or any particular drugs that you actually take in your home country, just make sure to load up on those. Like you'd be surprised at some of the things that you need prescriptions for here in Canada. And the part also that can be frustrating is that you're going to wait a very long time to actually get a doctor to actually check you in. Then once they check you in, and then they now give you the medication. So that's the one thing that I really wish I knew, that like just carry all these kind of medications that you would think you need and that you will need quickly, because should you have an emergency, then you might actually not be able to see a doctor. So just make sure that you have your meds well taken care of. So the next thing here is about service providers. So I've seen a lot of videos talking about like maybe how not so great um, the mobile plans are here in Canada, but for me, really, like it didn't really make much of a difference. Like I thought it was great. I thought they are actually great, but yeah, I think what I would just mention here is that do not feel stuck with one particular plan that you have. Always go and like talk to someone. So if you go to a mall, let's say, go to the mobile shop there and actually ask, okay, do they have any promotions going on? So sometimes they'll have like a newcomer program going on, or sometimes they might have like a back to school program promotion that's going on. So just ask on those, just because you would never know really. Like no service provider is going to come tell you that actually you can lower your bill by this amount of money. But actually, if you do go ask, you might actually be surprised. Like recently, I found out because we are using Shore as our internet provider, and my phone bill or my phone plan is with Rogers. So there's actually like a $10 discount that I could actually get. So that actually helps to lower the bill. So like yeah, and then I also managed to switch off my providers at one point, and then that also like helped me to like lower my phone bill by like $15. So really, you just always have to be asking and don't feel stuck with one provider. Just because yeah, maybe you want, I don't know, unless if you do get like a very lucrative loyalty program with them, I would always just be like switching. Or because the good thing here is that you can always carry your number. So like you can just move your number, the same number that you're using, into a different provider, let's say with Telus or with Bell or whatever other provider it is. So just make sure you also have that on lock and you actually take advantage of it. The next thing that I'll have is about the taxes. So I won't talk about HST, GST. I think that's a given. The one particular tax that I didn't know about was the bottle tax. So essentially what happens in a lot of the provinces, actually, when you buy certain products, if you buy like water or when you buy like milk, they'll actually charge you an extra fee. So that's what they call the bottle tax. The idea here is that once you give back the bottle back to the bottle depot, then you actually get that money back. So I didn't know about this particular tax, and I was throwing away all my bottles when I just moved here. But now I know it, and I actually collect all of these. So I actually also just made a separate video as well where I'll actually show you how to actually recycle your stuff and get your money back, or make a little bit extra money, because some people actually go around, collect bottles, and make money. Eighth here on this list is to know about the rules and regulations in that particular province or in the particular town that you move into. So these may vary. Some may be universal in Canada, but some of these may vary. So just make sure you familiarize yourself actually when you're doing your driving license. Make sure that you actually learn where you can get a fine. So like in particular, if you park a vehicle within 1.5 meters next to the wheelchair ramp, that actually will cause them to give you a fine of like $40. They gave me one, so I don't want anybody else to get one. But that's not a written rule that's like very clear and very apparent to you, because there's no sign per se. So just make sure you're aware and you're tuned to that. Make sure you do some things like shoving your snow, because there's a particular charge with that as well if you don't shove your snow within 24 hours. And then like say some other rules that are just really weird that are just particular to a certain town, like you cannot climb a tree. So just make sure you're aware. And just to follow through, then I guess my ninth point here is almost related to this, but make sure that you understand the recycling rules. So when you move here to Canada, there's different boxes for particular waste that you're going to throw out. So some waste is recyclable, some waste is compostable, or some waste is, because there's three different bins that are there. So you also want to be able to make sure that you know how to use these different bins, because actually they will also fine you if you don't use this. I think I'll also just do a separate video as well, just to talk about how to actually get the information about this, because I think it's very crucial. Like you don't want to get a fine because of this. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for sticking on and learning on these. Is there anything else that I missed that you feel that, okay, this was important, you really really wish you knew this before you moved here? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.